Hello students, I hope you are all doing good. So let's start with today's class. In the last class we have talked about pure substances. We have completed the pure substance. We have learned that what are the characteristics of the pure substances and what are the characteristics of elements, what are the characteristics of the compound. We have learned that the pure substance have a fixed melting point and boiling point. It is represented by a certain formula or certain symbols. They have fixed definite properties. They cannot be separated by physical methods. So these are the common properties of pure substances that we have got from elements and the compounds. Today we will learn about the mixture, impure substances. What is impure substances we have known, and what are the common characteristics we have discussed, and what is this impure substances called? The impure substance is called mixture. Now tell me the mixture, what are the example of the mixture? We know we have taken the example was salt plus water. So this is an example, sugar plus water. Sugar plus water. These are all the example of mixture. Now tell me whether it be a sugar or salt plus water, what do you find in common? You find common that in a mixture that there will be two different compounds or two different elements. See, sugar is a one kind of pure compound. Yes, it is pure with the chemical formula C12H22O11. This is also water. Water is a pure compound and has formula H2O. Salt, NaCl. So see, these are all compounds, pure compound are mixing together. Two different compounds are mixing together and they're giving us what? Mixture. So in a general definition, we can write that when two or more different compounds or elements, it can be elements also, like air is a mixture, because in air we contains what? N2, O2, carbon dioxide, different kind of gases. So see, these are all what? N2, O2, these are elements. So that when two or more different compounds or elements mixed in any proportion physically, we called it as mixture. Because we have to be very clarified with the definition. Why I am using here any proportion and why we are using physically? Because here we can say that we can add any amount of salt we want. We can add any amount of sugar we want. Those who need less amount of sugar sweetness, they will add less. Those who need more, they will add more. See, in air we know how much percentage of nitrogen is maximum. It is just a figure, maximum, and then O2, then carbon dioxide. So see, the proportion is not same. As we have seen, that proportion is not fixed. It can be in any proportion. So in mixture, the proportion are not fixed and they are mixed by what? Physical. Why I am saying physical? Because in chemical, if you are there, whenever I am mentioning physical and chemical, that means they are both different, they are not same. Physical means it is like interaction. Physical means only interaction. Let's think, when I am talking about physically, it means only interaction. And when I am talking about chemically, that means here chemical reaction is involved. In physical, no chemical reaction involved. only interaction involved. Interaction, why I am saying interaction? Remember in class 8 we have learned about the electrolytes, that whenever you dissolve NaCl in water, they will give us ions of what? Na plus and Cl minus. Remember? And this happens because of what? Because of interaction of what? Interaction of salt with the water. The ions that are formed due to whenever we dissolve salt in water is due to the interaction. Due to the interaction of salt with water, it gives ions of what? Na plus and Cl minus. So this is a physical interaction but not chemical. In the chemical, if we say chemically, it means chemical reaction is involved. But when we are mentioning a physical, that means physical means only interaction is involved, no chemical reaction. So in general term, we can say that when two or more different compounds or elements mixed in any proportion, physically we call it as a mixture. Now let's understand more about the mixture. So what we can say that mixture, it is here they are physically mixed, right? First. Second is, now talk about salt plus water. Can we separate them? Can we separate them? Can we separate salt from water? Yes. The biggest example is evaporation of a seawater to get salt. So it can be separated. It can be separated by what? By physical methods. Here in mixture, all the things are involved is physical. And in compounds and elements, there it all mentioned as a chemicals. So chemical methods are involved. So here it can be separated by physical method. Now comes about the third point. Are they have any formula? Can it be represented by formula or any symbol? No. It cannot be represented by any formula, because we can't indicate this. How we will write NaCl plus water? This is not any kind of formula. We are just mentioning it. Certain formula. We don't have any certain formula to define a mixture. Fourth, variation composition. It have variable composition. As we have seen that now tell me, those who like sugar will add more sugar and those who don't like won't add much sugar. Now see here variable composition. In the one which has a less sugar will find a less sweetness, but in the one in which they are adding more sugar will find more sugar. So variable composition. Depending upon how much you are adding, the composition gets changed. Depending upon how much you are adding, and upon that the variation, you are getting a variation in sweetness. Less you will get less, more you will get more. And what about the fifth? What about the property? Now tell me, does the mixture have any definite property? Like compound has something definite property, but it has something different property from its constituents. It does not have some same property. Like water have a different property from H2 gas and O2 gas. But what about the mixture? In mixture, the property of the constituents like salt and water does not change. So we can say the property of its constituents remains same. Now tell me, remain same means what? Like salt. What is the taste of the salt? It is the salty. Like, okay, take an example of sugar. Sugar tastes sweet, right? Even if we don't add water in it, we also feel sweetness. And even if we add sugar in water, that sugar water solution or the sugar water mixture also have the sweetness. So after adding a sugar in a water, does it losing its property of sweetness? No, it is not losing it. So the property of its constituent does not change, remains same. Water help us to put off the fire. put off the fire. Now tell me that after adding sugar, will it change its property? Will it start supporting fire? No. Even after adding sugar or salt, it will put off the fire. It will help us to put off the fire. So the constituents of the property of the constituents does not change. It remains same. And one more is that it is okay and definite. It does not have definite. No definite MP and BP. Because we have seen in winter countries that people add salt on ice because salt helps us to melt that ice very quickly. So it decreasing the melting point. So it does not have the melting point because due to the adding of some impurity, due to the adding of some salt in it, the water melting point and boiling point gets changed. Since we have learned about the mixture and the compound and their characteristics, now here we have to learn the difference. How mixture is different from the compounds. The mixture, here different elements or compounds are mixed in any proportion, that is physically. I told you physical means what? Only interaction is involved, nothing, no chemical reaction. But in compound, the elements combined chemically in fixed proportion. Sorry for that, in a fixed proportion. So different elements combined chemically in a fixed proportion. Here in any proportion, but here fixed proportion. This is the major difference between compounds and mixture. Here physically, that is only interaction. Here chemically means chemical reaction is involved. Okay. Now comes to this. Do these have any formula? No. We are mixing salt plus water, two different compounds, but after mixing that, does it giving us any kind of new formula? No. No definite formula. But here, yes, definite formula. You are mixing H2, you are reacting H2 plus oxygen gas, it gives what? Water. See, the water has something definite formula. Can it be separated? Yes, it can be separated by physical methods. I told you in mixture, all the things that is involved are physical, and in compound, all the things that are involved are chemicals. But it can be separated only by chemical methods. Only by chemical methods, not physical. Here, do any chemical reaction involve? If you are mixing salt in a water, sugar in water, any reaction it is involving? No reaction is involved. Here no chemical reaction is involved. But here tell me, does it involving any kind of reaction? Yes. You can't mix hydrogen and oxygen together and thinking of getting a water. To make water from hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, some chemical reaction has to be involved. So here chemical reaction is involved. Other more differences is, after mixing, does the property of the compounds get changed? You are mixing NaCl and water, salt plus water. Does the property of the salt or does the property of the water that put out the fire, the salt that has the saltiness in it, does it change? No, it does not change. It remains same after mixing also. But here, after combining, the new compound that has been formed has definite property. Of course, they have definite. Whatever water you take, wherever water you take, definite property, but its property is different from its constituent. The property that H2 has, the property that O2 has, it's different from its what? Water. They are friendly to fire, it is enemy, foe to fire, enemy to the fire. No fixed melting point or boiling point. As you have seen, adding salt in water will decrease the melting point, because in the hilly areas they add salt to the ice just so that it can melt, it gets melt easily. But here, yes, they have fixed melting point and boiling point. Water has fixed melting point, that is 0 degree, boiling point 100 degree. If no impurities is present in it, it is present in a pure form, then definitely it will have a fixed melting point, that is 0 degree, and fixed boiling point, that is 100 degree. So here are the difference between the mixture and the compound. Whom should we call mixture and whom should we call compound? Okay. Now, there are different type of mixture, and due to this, the mixture has been categorized by homogeneous and heterogeneous. Now, to understand it better that what is homogeneous and what is heterogeneous, I have taken a two example, that is salt plus water, sand plus water and clay plus water, for better understanding. Now tell me, in homogeneous mixture, that salt plus water, if you are adding a salt in a water, what do you feel? What do you taste? Do you find any variation of the saltiness in water? No. We find that the salt has been equally distributed in all the portion of water. In all the portion of water means you won't find any variation of the saltiness. You won't say that the salt is present below, or we can't say that after mixing it properly, after completely dissolving it, we can't say that salt is present bottom, maximum amount of salt is present in the bottom and the less amount of salt is present in the above layer. No, we don't say. We feel that the saltiness that we found in the above layer also, we found the same saltiness in the below layer or any layer you go. So see, here we can say that the particles of the salt has been equally distributed in all the proportion. In all proportion and in all proportion of the water. So in homogeneous mixture, the particles of a compound or particles of any pure substances you take are distributed equally or uniformly in all proportion. You can say you will find same saltiness over here. Break the water in each layer, and in each layer you will find the same proportion of the saltiness. And what about this heterogeneous? If we take a sand plus water, what do you see? Why, after mixing, what do you see? That the sand particle, most of the sand are present at the below surface, and some are present at the above surface. So see here, the sand particles are not present uniformly, are not distributed equally. So here we say that the particles are not uniformly distributed, and that is the reason. See the variation of this property, uniformly distribution and non-uniformly distribution, and that is the reason the mixture has been categorized by homogeneous and heterogeneous. The main reason is that uniform distribution, non-uniform distribution. Now comes to the here, salt plus water. Can you see the salt particle in water? Oh, here salt particle is present, or here particle is there. Can you see? It is visible through our naked eye? No, cannot be seen. Here the particles of salt cannot be seen. But what about here, sand? And what about the clay? Clay means mati. Ye ki mati bolbo? Bheja mati. জলে গুলে দেখবে sand can be visible, but clay are too tiny, they cannot be visible. So here you can say the particle size varied. Varied means that some are smaller, some are larger. Some can be visible, some cannot be visible. It can be smaller or it can be larger. If it is smaller, cannot be seen, but if it is larger, as we can see, the sand particles can be seen, but clay particles cannot be seen. So we can say can be visible and cannot be visible. Now again take a look at the example salt plus water and sand plus water or clay plus water. What do you see? In a sand plus water, now tell me, does the salt get settled down? Once you dissolving a salt in water and keeping it for 2-3 hours, after 2-3 hours, do you see that salt is getting settling down? Or do you find after keeping it through, after keeping 2-3 hours, what do you see? That's almost of the salt is present over here and there is no saltiness over this water. No, we don't see that. Even after 2-3 hours or 1 day, we see that salt is present in each layer and in equal proportion. So here the particles do not settle down. Do not settle down. But what about heterogeneous mixture? Sand plus water? Yes, after you keep it for a 2-3 hours, you will see the sand particles are getting settled down. But in some of the heterogeneous mixture, even the clay is settled down. Even the clay, after keeping it for 1 day, it settled down. But there are other also mixture where that particles does not settle down, and that example is milk plus water. We all think that milk plus water is homogeneous, but it's actually not. It is heterogeneous, because the milk contains what? Milk contains protein plus fat, and these fats are not equally distributed. For proteins and fats of the milks are not equally distributed. That is why we call it as a heterogeneous. And now tell me, can you see milk particles can you see the milk particles after adding water? No. Does it settle down? You are keeping it in a fridge and after 1 day, do you say that the milk is settling down or water is getting separated? No. So that in heterogeneous, it is not necessary that it will settle down. It can be settled down, it cannot be settled down. So we can say can be settled down or cannot. Or cannot, not necessary, as we are saying milk plus water. Now tell me that after mixing salt plus water, what you see? Do you see something separate layer? Do you see any separate layer? No, there is no separate layer. So here we can say no separate layer is formed. Since no separate layer is formed, we can say that homogeneous mixture is of the same phase. Whole mixture is of what? Same phase. But heterogeneous, you will see the sand is settling downwards, clay is settling at the bottom. So here it is, the layer has been formed. A layer of what? Layer of sand. Here is sand and above is water. In a milk also you will find a layer of what? Layer of fat and layer of water. The fats will be floating on the milk. Fat will be floating on the milk. You will see some butteriness, that cream shore that is floating on the milk, that is fat. And the rest is below, is bottom. So here separate layer is formed, and since separate layer is formed, we can say here different phase. They have a separate different phase, not one phase. Here at same phase, or we can say one phase. Here in a heterogeneous mixture, they have different phase, or we can say two phases are formed. Here what? Two or more phases are formed. Two or more phases are formed. So these are the common characteristics. These are the properties of homogeneous and these are the properties of heterogeneous upon which they has been categorized. Due to their properties, they have been categorized in heterogeneous and homogeneous. Now we have understood why mixture has been classified. Now before starting, now see, here you can see even in the heterogeneous also there is a variation, that some can be seen, some cannot be seen. Some settle down, some does not settle down. Due to two variation, can be seen, cannot be seen, and wait a minute, and settle down and cannot be settled down. Here again the heterogeneous has been classified, and it is classified by what? It is classified by two, that is suspension and colloidal. Colloidal comes under that does not settle down, cannot be seen, and suspension comes under can be seen and settle downs. See, variation properties in heterogeneous also. The heterogeneous has been classified, right, with suspension and colloidal.